You enter the world of the Illuminati, and this is your entire life. Level 1. The Broken Recruit. You've hit absolute rock bottom. Your bank balance reads negative $400. 3 months have passed since you lost your job. There's an eviction notice stuck to your front door. You have 3 days left. No friends, no family, every credit card buried in debt. You have absolutely nothing remaining. You're finished. You check your mailbox. A single thick envelope sits inside. No return address, no sender. You tear it open. Inside is one plain card. Wealth and meaning await those who surrender themselves entirely. Text this number when you are prepared. You stare at the card for a long time. This has to be a trap, probably a scam. But you have nothing left to lose anyway. You send the text and collapse into bed. Level 2. The Apprentice. Morning arrives. An email is waiting in your inbox. Goldman Sachs is offering you a position, junior analyst. You never submitted an application. You don't even hold a finance degree. The email states you begin tomorrow. You walk in with zero clue what you're doing. But every time you hit a wall, your phone vibrates. An unknown contact. The messages tell you precisely what to do, which documents to review, which meetings matter, which senior figures to get close to. You follow every instruction without question, and you climb faster than anyone. Within 6 months, you're already being promoted. Colleagues despise you. They assume you're a shameless suck-up. They have no idea what's actually happening. You are being guided by the Illuminati. 1 year in, your salary sits at $300,000. You purchase a car, a luxury watch, and a Manhattan apartment. The struggle is gone. You are thriving. But late at night, the phone buzzes again. Fresh instructions. The message from your handler is blunt. Don't forget who created you. Don't forget who you belong to. Level 3. The Spy. A text arrives. An invitation to a charity gala at the Plaza Hotel. Black tie event. Someone at your level has no business being on that guest list. But your name is there, so you attend. The venue radiates power. Senators, executives, old money dynasties filling every corner. Your job is to work the room. You're introduced to a congressman's daughter. She's 26, Harvard Law, and she's drawn to you. Numbers get exchanged. Coffee leads to cocktails. Cocktails lead to dinner. She opens up. You absorb every word. She shares details about her father's legislative agenda, the bills he's championing, the donors quietly squeezing him behind the scenes. You memorize it all and relay it back. The unknown number responds, "Exceptional. We are very pleased with your performance." New instructions flood in. Show up here. Get close to this person. Probe this subject. Finance is no longer your world. You are harvesting confidential intelligence. You're threading yourself into a network you still don't fully grasp, but you keep ascending. Level 4. The Insider. Vice President of Investment Strategy at Goldman Sachs. Corner office with floor-to-ceiling windows. A personal team of assistants. Direct lines to the senior partners. The phone never stops buzzing. The messages have become sharper, more precise, more demanding. Acquire these shares before the announcement drops. Liquidate these positions before the collapse. Redirect this deal toward this result. You've moved beyond gathering intel. You're acting on it. You're executing insider trades at a scale most people can't imagine and rigging the market from inside. You float a recommendation in a boardroom. The firm commits. 3 days later, the market behaves exactly as predicted. The firm clears $100 million. Your personal cut, $2 million. Nobody asks how you called it. They believe you have some kind of gift, but your handlers supply the information before it becomes public. You're not really employed by Goldman. You serve the Illuminati. You've never seen their faces. You don't know their names. But their orders define your existence. You trigger crashes. You manufacture rallies. You accumulate generational wealth from the wreckage. You engineered last week's tech sector collapse. Billions in wealth reshuffled. Thousands of ordinary people watched their retirement accounts evaporate. You slept soundly. You acquired a Malibu penthouse. You drive a Bentley. And an invitation to Davos just arrived. You have become a critical asset. Level 5, the ghost. Your phone rings, not a message this time, an actual call. The voice on the other end carries age, authority, and weight. A new assignment has been selected for you. You're moving into politics. Finance is behind you now. You've been repositioned as a campaign strategist. A name is provided, Senator Richard Ashford. He's running for re-election in Ohio. He's been in office 12 years. The Illuminati need him to stay there. A wire transfer lands in your account, $15 million, completely untraceable. Your objective is simple. Deliver his victory. You relocate to Columbus. The senator is already aware of who you truly work for. He's been part of the network for years. You tear down and rebuild his campaign from the foundation. Top-tier consultants, saturation television advertising, ruthless attacks against his opponent. You dig until you find what you need. A buried affair from 2 decades ago. A drunk driving incident that was quietly erased. You hand it all to the press. His opponent implodes. On election night, Ashford wins in a landslide. A message appears. Well done. 14 days later, another name arrives. A governor's race in Florida, then a congressional seat in Nevada. You're not managing one campaign. You're running 6 simultaneously. You are a ghost. Your name exists nowhere in official documentation, yet you are determining electoral outcomes across the nation. Senators, governors, representatives, all installed by your hand. All indebted to you, which means all indebted to the Illuminati. Level 6. The Puppet Master. Your chosen candidate just claimed the presidency, but your role doesn't end there. You draft the legislation they introduce to Congress, voting regulations, tax frameworks. You're no longer writing campaign scripts. You are authoring law itself. A bill moves through Texas that hands portions of the state energy grid to private operators. The Illuminati's companies collect the contracts. A bill clears Pennsylvania, rewriting regulatory standards. Labor costs plummet. Your associates bank millions. You are invisible. But the consequences of your decisions are felt by hundreds of millions of people who have no idea you exist. An invitation arrives to a private compound in Montana. Your first face-to-face gathering. 12 individuals in the room. You recognize 3 of them. A former Secretary of State, a billionaire who built a technology empire, a media mogul who controls narratives across multiple continents. No formal introductions. None are necessary. They tell you the work has been outstanding. They tell you the next phase is ready. International operations. Level 7. The Shadow. Politics is in your rearview mirror. You now operate in intelligence. Mossad, the CIA, MI6. You don't serve these agencies. You coordinate alongside them. You arrange classified operations that permanently alter the trajectory of history. A country is assigned to you. Let's call it Venezuela. The sitting president has become a problem. He's nationalizing oil holdings and signaling that future sales will route through China. This cannot be permitted. You begin coordinating a regime transition. You never board a flight to Caracas. You make calls. You arrange private meetings. You route money. $10 million to opposition coalitions. $5 million to military commanders ready to switch sides. $2 million to journalists willing to push the right narrative. You engineer public demonstrations. You disrupt supply chains to create shortages. You manufacture instability and project weakness onto the president until the cracks become chasms. 6 months later, a coup removes him from power. He escapes into exile. A new leader assumes control, someone who has been receiving your payments for 3 years. You just orchestrated the transfer of $30 billion in wealth. You are not an intelligence officer. You are a designer of collapse, and you execute it with frightening precision. Level 8. The Supreme Magus. Power is no longer adequate to describe what you possess. You have become something closer to legend within the Illuminati. You are one of the 12. You carry a title, Supreme Magus. The authority that comes with it is almost beyond comprehension. You shape trends. You redirect destinies. You own a Caribbean island, not a vacation retreat, a compound. Powerful visitors arrive by private jet. Princes, heads of state, billionaires. They come for the indulgence, the seclusion, the sense that normal rules don't apply here. But every conversation is being recorded. Every compromising moment. Every private indulgence documented on film. The footage is yours. And with it, so are the people in it. They will cast votes how you dictate. They will pass legislation on your timeline. They will finalize deals you've already approved. Or everything goes public. You never deliver the threat out loud. You never need to. The understanding is universal, but a problem is developing. Scrutiny is beginning to gather. A journalist in Miami is circling your island. She's been asking about flight records and passenger manifests. The FBI has quietly opened a preliminary file. It's minor. For now. But it represents the first fracture in your armor. One phone call later, the journalist's editor spikes the story. The FBI agent running the inquiry gets transferred to a different division. You've been insulated. For now. Level 9. The architect. You no longer advise the order on strategy. You execute its demands. A corporation has refused to comply. They won't implement the policies your network requires. You don't negotiate twice. You short their stock into the floor. You call in outstanding loans. You systematically destroy their public standing. Within 30 days, they're sending representatives to beg. You hand them revised terms. They sign without argument. A politician has decided to resist. You don't engage in debate. You have a source embedded in his office. You are already aware of the affair. You have the audio. You know about the offshore account. You send him a sealed envelope. No note inside, just the documentation. He reverses his position the following day. You operate out of your Palm Beach estate. You host intimate gatherings where the most consequential people on Earth settle into your living room furniture. They consume your wine. They debate the planet's future while quietly brokering deals that will never see daylight. You're also aware that federal surveillance is stationed outside your property. A criminal case is being built against you. You feel nothing resembling anxiety. The Illuminati's reach extends into every courtroom, every prosecutor's office, every agency directorate. You are beyond consequence. You are untouchable. Level 10. The Illuminated. You are blackmailing sovereign nations now. A country requires emergency financing. You extend it, but the conditions aren't financial. Favors. Private arrangements. Commitments that benefit your network in ways that never appear in any official document. They decline. You withdraw the funding. Their economy shatters. Their currency collapses. They return within weeks, and this time they accept everything. You have just economically subjugated an entire country. Your intelligence network reaches into every institution that matters: governments, boardrooms, newsrooms. You hold compromising material on every political figure of consequence. But a new crisis has emerged. Betrayal from within. Someone among the 12 has been speaking to the wrong people. You haven't identified who, but classified information is leaking. Federal eyes are now surveilling everything: the gatherings, the attendees, the patterns. Your protection remains intact. The architecture is still strong. But the pressure is mounting from every direction. Level 11. The Grandmaster. You no longer administer a single country. You administer continents. From your island, you direct seismic shifts in global influence. You relocate billions of dollars on command. You dismantle governments and construct replacements. You host closed-door summits where heads of state land on private airstrips. They convene in secret. They strategize wars. They negotiate peace. They architect the future that billions of people will be forced to inhabit. The world has no awareness that you exist, let alone that you are the one making these decisions. You determine which technologies reach the public and which remain buried. You decide which humanitarian crises receive aid and which are allowed to deepen. The entire planet is your game board. You have never felt anything approaching this level of dominance. And yet the authorities are closing in. The FBI, Interpol, A serious criminal case is materializing: money laundering, human trafficking, racketeering, and wide-scale conspiracy. You remain unconcerned. Senators, magistrates, agency directors, all of them are on your payroll. You have navigated tighter situations than this before. You will navigate this one too. Level 12. The eye at the peak. You engineer pandemics. You manufacture resource crises. You orchestrate catastrophes from behind closed doors. A biological research facility in China requires financing. You supply it. The work is extraordinarily dangerous, but it is essential to the next phase of the plan. A pathogen escapes containment. Whether this was intentional is a matter of perspective. The world locks down. Economies fracture. Governments reach for emergency powers they have never before exercised. You are already positioned. Vaccine contracts lined up. Digital tracking infrastructure ready. New currency systems waiting to deploy. You extract maximum profit from every dimension of the crisis you helped create. Billions of lives are upended. Millions die. But the strategic objective has been met. Wealth has concentrated. Power has centralized. Control has deepened. Then, while seated in your estate, watching televised coverage of the chaos, you hear it. Sirens. Rotors overhead. Your security detail is screaming. The front door detonates inward. FBI, Interpol, U.S. Marshals. Moments later, you're in handcuffs and folded into the back seat of a vehicle. The arrest has finally come. Level 13. The Fallen Angel. You're inside a cell. Metropolitan Correctional Center, Manhattan. Maximum security wing. Separated from the general population. Monitored but protected. Your legal team is the finest money can retain. Motions are being filed in rapid succession. Favors are being called in at every level. Judges are receiving quiet communications. Prosecutors are facing unusual pressure. You've seen this process play out before. You've engineered it before. The trial will be theater. The jury will be managed. The witnesses will be given compelling reasons to reconsider their testimony. Weeks, perhaps days before you walk. You are composed, confident. Then the cell door opens. The figure standing in the frame is not a corrections officer. The uniform is there, but something is fundamentally wrong. The door closes behind them without a sound. You open your mouth. You never finish the sentence. The Illuminati protects what serves its purpose, until it doesn't.
I appreciate you watching until the very end. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and hitting the like button. It really helps out a growing channel like mine. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next one.